Frogger returns. But where did he go? I never knew he was gone, and where is he returning from? Big questions that need to be answered, that won't be answered in Frogger Returns. My theory is that Frogger is like the Event Horizon. He went somewhere in space, possibly somewhere evil, and came back changed and different. Returns. He should return with Jedi powers. Pick up the cars, smash them into things, cut some people in half with a lightsaber, and then jump to his I'm not entirely sure what he's jumping to in this game. It's different. He's not jumping to lily pads. Maybe Frogger's jumping to conclusions. The riskiest jump of all. Look at the size of those rats. That's like something out of Fallout 3. Frogger Returns is available for the Nintendo Wii, downloadable from the Virtual Console, and as I've said before, I'm a fan of the Virtual Console. And Konami has done a terrific job as of late, putting on some cool remakes of their games, taking some chances, publishing some games that are fun, good old-school arcade-style games. And diehard fans of Frogger might be skeptical about this game. I'm a diehard fan of Frogger, and I was skeptical going into Frogger Returns, and I'm still skeptical coming out of Frogger Returns. I'm not entirely sure what I think of this game just yet, but they did take some chances. So if you're looking for a number rating or a black and white review, you're not going to get one. How can you take something so complex, so deep as Frogger, and just label him with a number? You know what you number? Breakfast at Denny's. Not Frogger. Unless it's Frogger 2. 3 deep. That game has 2 numbers. You know what this game feels like? It feels like one of the 1999 or early 2000 remakes of those Atari games they were putting out a decade ago now. Like Centipede, Missile Command, and Asteroids. Not a direct remake or clone of the original, but something slightly different. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Those were Atari-published games, this is Konami, but they feel slightly similar. There's obviously a move here from 2D to 3D style graphics. Everything's kind of oddly rendered in 3D, and the levels are longer. You get 4 levels in the game total, and just like the original game, there's always like 1 or 2 sections of the board that are difficult. Once you've mastered the rest of it, it's no problem. It does feel like something is missing, because once you've mastered the rest of the board, all you're doing is really concentrating on those couple parts of the board that are difficult. I find the level design interesting. I think they could have made it a bit brighter. Frogger Returns is a very, very affordable download, so you're not exactly risking a lot of money if you want to try the game out. I think the game would have benefited from 20 or 30 levels rather than 4. The original game was even more basic than that, but something about the original Frogger is still more playable than Frogger Returns. But don't discount this game, because once you start playing it, you very well might enjoy the game. I appreciate that they took some chances, tried something different, at least moderately different from the original. Frogger Returns is played with the Wii controller using the D-pad, which works fairly well, not as good as a joystick, an arcade-style joystick, but what is. It took me a while for my eyes to adjust to the visuals, and it will take a few playthroughs to figure out what's what in each board. Level 3 in particular has some interesting patterns that you have to jump through as quickly as possible, making it very different from any original Frogger level. There's a multiplayer option, time trial, and score attack modes. It's not a bad game, it feels like you get what you pay for. I think I'll return to the original one. I actually prefer their release on Xbox Live Arcade, which is more of a direct arcade clone. I think that the level design here shows promise. It shows they can take it further, and I'm sure this is not the last that we'll see of Frogger. Frogger will return again. Perhaps they can call the next one Frogger Returns, steps out to grab a bite to eat, comes back refreshed. 3 Deep 2, Episode 1. The Green Box.